In 2018, a quiet afternoon in a Starbucks cafe in Philadelphia became the setting for an incident that would ignite a national conversation about racism, implicit bias, and the treatment of Black individuals in public spaces. Rashon Nelson and Donte Robinson, two young Black entrepreneurs, entered the cafe for what they thought would be an ordinary meeting. Instead, they became the focal point of a story that highlighted systemic racism and sparked calls for societal change. Rashon and Donte arrived at the Starbucks that day to meet a business associate. They were professionally dressed, carrying notebooks and laptops, and seated themselves at a table to wait. Like many customers, they hadn't ordered anything immediately. This behavior wasn't unusual. Starbucks had long cultivated an image as a community hub where people could gather, work, or relax without the obligation to make a purchase. However, their presence seemed to unnerve the barista on duty. After observing them for only a few minutes, she approached and asked if they intended to order. Rashon politely explained that they were waiting for a friend and would make a purchase once he arrived. Unsatisfied with their response, the barista decided to escalate the situation by calling the police, claiming the men were trespassing. When the police arrived, Rashon and Donte were shocked. The officers asked them to leave, but the men calmly explained that they were simply waiting for their friend. Despite their protests and the lack of any disruptive behavior, the officers handcuffed them and escorted them out of the cafe in full view of stunned customers. One of those customers captured the incident on video, which quickly went viral. The video spread across social media like wildfire, sparking outrage and disbelief. Many viewers were appalled that two men could be treated so unfairly simply for sitting in a coffee shop. The incident became a symbol of the everyday racism that Black individuals face in public spaces, even in seemingly inclusive environments. Protests erupted outside the Starbucks where the arrest occurred, with demonstrators holding signs reading #boycott Starbucks and being Black is not a crime. Social media campaigns and news outlets amplified the story, prompting a nationwide conversation about racial profiling, implicit bias, and the role of corporations in perpetuating inequality. The viral nature of the video also shed light on countless unrecorded incidents faced by Black individuals daily. For many, the experience of Rashon and Donte was a painful reminder of the vulnerability that comes with simply existing in public spaces. The visual of two successful, calm, and professional men being led away in handcuffs struck a nerve across racial and socioeconomic lines, uniting people in outrage. Faced with mounting backlash, Starbucks leadership acted swiftly to address the situation. CEO Kevin Johnson issued a public apology to Rashon and Donte, calling the incident reprehensible and promising to make amends. The company took the unprecedented step of temporarily closing over 8,000 stores across the United States to conduct racial bias training for its employees. The training sessions were designed to help employees recognize and address implicit biases, ensuring that all customers felt welcome in Starbucks locations. The curriculum was developed in collaboration with civil rights organizations, including the NAACP and the Anti-Defamation League. The training included real-life scenarios, personal reflections, and strategies for fostering an inclusive environment. While some praised Starbucks for its proactive approach, others criticized the training as a superficial solution to a deeper problem. Skeptics argue that while the training might address individual behaviors, it failed to tackle the systemic racism embedded within corporate structures and societal norms. Rashon Nelson and Donte Robinson chose to channel their frustration into positive action. Rather than pursue a prolonged legal battle, they reached a settlement with Starbucks that included an undisclosed financial payment and an agreement to fund programs promoting equality and entrepreneurship in underserved communities. In addition to the settlement with Starbucks, Rashon and Donte settled with the city of Philadelphia for $1 each. As part of the agreement, the city pledged to invest $200,000 in a program supporting young entrepreneurs. The two men expressed hope that the incident could serve as a catalyst for meaningful change. In interviews following the settlement, Rashon and Donte emphasized their desire to use their platform to advocate for racial justice and equitable treatment in public spaces. We want to ensure this doesn't happen to anyone else, Donte said in one interview. This is bigger than us. They began speaking at universities, community events, and corporate workshops, sharing their story to raise awareness about the insidious nature of implicit bias and the need for accountability. Their ability to turn a humiliating experience into a movement for change inspired countless individuals to confront and challenge racism in their own lives. The Starbucks incident underscored the pervasive nature of implicit bias and how it influences decisions in everyday situations. It highlighted the challenges faced by Black individuals who are often subject to unwarranted suspicion and scrutiny in public spaces. For many, Rashon and Donte's experience was a reminder of the countless similar incidents that go unrecorded and unacknowledged. The incident also raised questions about the responsibility of corporations to address systemic issues within their organizations. While Starbucks' response was praised by some, it also faced criticism for not going far enough to address the root causes of racial bias among its employees. Moreover, the case became a case study for how technology and citizen journalism can bring attention to injustice. Without the viral video, Rashon and Donte's story might have gone unnoticed, allowing the cycle of discrimination to continue unchecked. Several important lessons emerged from this incident. 1. The importance of accountability. The public outcry following the Starbucks incident demonstrated the power of collective action in holding corporations accountable for their actions. It also showed that businesses must take proactive steps to address bias and discrimination within their ranks. 2. The role of bystanders. The viral video that brought attention to Rashon and Donte's experience was filmed by a bystander who refused to stay silent. This underscores the importance of speaking out against injustice, even in seemingly small situations. 3. The need for systemic change. While racial bias training is a step in the right direction, it's not a panacea. Addressing systemic racism requires sustained effort, including policy changes, education, and community engagement. For turning adversity into advocacy, Rashon and Donte's decision to use their platform to advocate for change is a powerful example of resilience. Their efforts have inspired others to confront racism and work toward a more equitable society. 5. Corporate responsibility. Companies must recognize their role in shaping social norms. By implementing policies and training that promote inclusivity, businesses can help dismantle systemic barriers and foster equitable environments. The story of Rashon Nelson and Donte Robinson is both a cautionary tale and a beacon of hope. It highlights the insidious nature of racism in everyday life, but also demonstrates the power of individuals and communities to drive change. Their experience serves as a reminder that true progress requires not just awareness but action. If you found this story compelling, subscribe to our channel for more stories that challenge perspectives and inspire change. Together, we can shed light on injustice and work toward a more inclusive and equitable world.